Hello everyone, my name is Tiffany Zorrilla and I'll be your ceramics instructor for today. Before we start, let us center ourselves, be present together. Take the time to grab yourself a cup of water, do a light stretch, roll your shoulders back, and release the tension of the day. If you have to pause the video, please do. Okay. Welcome back. Here we'll start with a short setup. First, make sure you have a clean, sturdy workspace. This can either be a table space or the floor. Make sure you're wearing clothes that you wouldn't mind getting dirty. You can always pause and rewind if you miss anything. Make sure you have your supplies ready. Air dry clay, a cup of water, and optional, a sponge. Now let's start crafting. Remove a small piece of clay and place it into the water. That will be our glue for later. Shape the clay with your hands, and we're going to do what I call a sandwich technique. I take the ends of the clay and fold them over. This will get the clay ready for working and shaping. I do that a couple of times until the clay has a good consistency. Think dough. Not too sticky, not too dry. If you feel any hard pieces, be sure to remove them from the clay and continue to sandwich. Next, I roll the clay into a ball form so the clay is evenly distributed. You can add a little water on your palm so that it's easier to roll the clay. Here I'm taking my fingers and smoothing out any cracks that I see along the way. My next step is to lay the clay flat on a clean floor and press down to create a square or cylinder shape. Take your thumb and dip it in a little bit of water, and we're going to push the thumb directly into the middle on the clay's flat surface, pushing down but not piercing through the clay. Next, keep the thumb inside the clay, and we're going to use crabby hands and press the walls of the clay against each other, going all around the clay in a circle. It is important to keep the clay supported to make sure you have a nice and even cup. Here is another view of crabby hands, using both hands as the clay expands. If you notice any cracks, you can use the clay/glue we placed in the water earlier to smooth out the clay surface. This, of course, is completely optional, but you can also use a sponge dipped in water to smooth out the surface. Use your thumb and point your finger to pinch out the rim of your cup until you get your desired look. Lastly, I decided to make my pot a cup, completely optional. And if you want to do this, you have to take some clay, dip it in water, and smush the clay into a long tree log. Make sure to use water to smooth out the cracks along the way. Handle it very carefully and bend the clay into a C shape. Be sure to check your work to see how your handle measures against the side of the cup and make adjustments if needed. Once you're happy with the shape, you can go ahead and take your fingernail and scratch into the cup directly where the handle will attach. This ensures your handle will stick and exist as a guide for easy placement. Take a small bit of the clay glue and place it into the scratch marks. Then use your fingers to smooth the handle into the cup, providing support from the inside as to not distort your creation. At this point, the handle will be very delicate, so I would advise to let it dry overnight until you want to handle it again. No pun intended. And that's it. I let my cup dry for 2 days before I decided to paint over it, And that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and had fun crafting with me. Bye for now.